Welcome back, everybody. My name is Taylor Martin. This is the best Damn EDC, and it's time for another EDC Weekly. Is that a fucking train? Is that your stomach? Welcome back, everybody. My name is Taylor Martin. This is the best Damn EDC, and it's time for another EDC Weekly, and it's been quite a while since I've done one of these. But in the last one, I asked you guys to submit your bougie carries. These are always a lot of fun. They're highly impractical for most of you, even for me, but it's still fun to look at this gear and just think about some of these things and even affording some of these things. So that's what this one's all about. It's just for fun to look at what you guys carry, and some of you crazy people out there who have like $5,000 knives, you're nuts, but it's still cool. And I love seeing this side of the community. So with that said, this is Bougie EDC Weekly version 4, and let's do the damn thing. So this time around, I have 7 submissions. I'm also trying this standing thing. I got a standing desk, and I struggle to sit now. Like, I'm just too jittery and antsy, and I need to stand. So we're standing from now on. Enjoy it. Get used to it. I don't know. What am I talking about? Anyway, the first submission comes from Phill or Doc or Staghead_EDC over on Instagram. And this one, really the first thing that jumped out at me was the blue Hinderer, but we'll get to that. I also kind of envy the fixed blade in this carry. But first up in this photo to the left, what you guys probably would have expected me to be more jealous of is an Omega Speedmaster Moonwatch Professional. That is sitting on top of a Louis Vuitton monogram shadow cover leather pocket organizer, as well as an Alexander McQueen silk handkerchief. The knife, as I mentioned, is a Hinderer XM18 3.5 inch with a swedged spear blade M390. It has a battle bronze anodized frame, a battle blue titanium scale, and a battle bronze hardware kit. The fixed blade, as I also mentioned, is a Winkler Knives Standard Duty 2, and then he also has a Mont Blanc. That is a Starwalker metal/rubber ballpoint. And then finally, underneath, I think, everything here is a Hobo Tactical Hobo Sack Tony Cocaine White 1 of 1. I don't know what that is. It just looks like something that holds these things, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, Phil says, at the moment, I'm in a bit of a limbo. I'm looking to inject some new life into my EDC. I don't know what I want, but all I know is I want small independent makers and accessible stuff, and don't really want to be paying jacked up prices in the gray market. Yeah, same. He also says, hey man, how's it going? Most definitely not the bougiest carry you're gonna see, but I tried. It's pretty bougie, honestly. The Moonwatch is one of 3 Omegas I have, but this is the one I wear the most. Here we go. The Hobo Sack is something I always have on me now, and honestly, I don't know how I survived without one for so long. I use them for storing loose change/money and all those other little bits and pieces that don't normally have a home. This is a 1 of 1 edition that I scored a while back. If you don't already have one, I would say you need one. Anyway, thank you for sharing this. This is really cool. Of course, I obviously want a Speedmaster. It's one of my grail watches, and it's one that I would probably stretch to say I will buy this year, just because I've wanted one for so long, and I'm in a place where I could probably buy one. I could sell like 1/8 of my knife collection and buy one, which is probably what I'm gonna do. But this is cool. I'll look into Hobo Sacks. I don't think it's something I'm gonna carry. I would probably just use like a yellow birch organizer with a zip pouch in that, or a ZF pouch or something like that instead. But really cool carry. That Hinderer is really nice. I'm kind of on a Hinderer kick right now. For some reason, I bought this one in the Discord server and put this micarta scale on it. It's just kind of sick. It's also in the battle bronze. But anyway, thank you for sharing. You now have a second entry into the giveaway. The next submission comes from Shane or Sim Luvu over on Instagram. And well, as you can tell probably pretty quickly what jumped out at me on this one, it would be the Chris Reeve knife. There are lots and lots of submissions for this bougie carry with Chris Reeve knives, but this one in particular has to be the bougiest of bouge when it comes to Chris Reeve. So what you see in this photo in the very top is a Center Customs 18350 RM. That's the flashlight you see there. I'm not super familiar with Center Customs, but below that is a Chris Reeve large and cozy, an Insingo blade, but this one has a zirconium Timascus scale made by SG Knives. I don't even want to know what that scale cost. That is honestly kind of sick. He also has a Thai Survival lanyard bead and a Lynch Northwest deep carry clip in blue anno. It's on the reverse side, so it's not shown. He also has a Brad Zinker Custom Knives Drop Point Shorty LLF. He also has a tactile turn slim bolt action short, and that is in zirconium with a titanium Damascus clip. And then finally, underneath everything is an Everyday Hank's needlepoint Segaiha. Segaiha? Do you know how to say that? That is an Urban EDC Supply exclusive. He says, looking for a reliable, convenient source of Uniball Jetstream pen refills, lithium-ion batteries, and or tritium vials. Yeah, you and me both. Tritium vials are expensive, really kind of hard to find because they have to have like governmental clearances to be able to sell them. But I do need some tritium for some of my stuff. The Nkosi was an anniversary gift from my wife and sort of granted permission to dive deeper into EDC as a hobby. Recently acquired the zirconium Timascus scale and clip, which really elevate the knife as a standout item in my collection. Yeah, no joke. The Brad Zinker Custom is a tiny fidget-friendly front flipper that rides in my 5th pocket most days. That scale is, I'm not really into soupy things, and that's really cool. I mean, the zirconium, I'm kind of a sucker for Zerk stuff, but Timascus doesn't normally do anything for me, but this combination looks pretty sick. Anyway, thank you for sharing. You now have a second entry into the giveaway. You guys are already probably pretty familiar with the sponsor of today's video, Big Idea Design. They're known for their titanium pocket tools like the TPT slide, the Bitbar inline, the everyday screwdriver, even the EDC wrench. But their biggest specialty is with everyday pens. They have a host of different styles of pens that take a mind-numbing amount of refills. So what that means is that you can choose the pen you like and then put your favorite refill in it instead of having to choose a pen around the refill. That's really cool, but also if you prefer something a little more compact, you can opt to go with one of their mini series pens. All of their pens also come in titanium, brass, and copper, but since we're talking about bougie stuff, something you may not know about Big Idea Design is that they also offer pens in zirconium, and you can also upgrade the clip to a titanium Damascus, or Timascus as it's called, clip. Just use either a Torx driver or the included tool to take the clip off your pen, add the Timascus one, and then you can have a little bouge of your own. If you want to check out everything Big Idea Design has to offer, hit the link in the description down below and use coupon code CARRYON for 10% off at checkout. If you do, you'll help support what I'm doing here. And once again, I want to thank Big Idea Design for sponsoring this video. The next submission comes from Wilkhyne, or EDC_sector over on Instagram. And he submitted a few different photos and they all jumped out at me, but I selected this one in particular. So first up in this photo, we have the Chad Nell Knives Nevada Jr. on the far left. That is a left-handed version in Magna Cut. He also has a Grimsmo Saga pen, as well as a CWF, or Charles Wiggins Flashlights Mini Arcadian Digi Camo with steel flame clip. The Orbit Key Micarta is his key organizer of choice. He also has a Line State Leather Goods wallet, and then a Beskar Worry Stone from Ben Crine, made out of Damascus, and then finally the watch is a Seiko SKX 013 38mm case. He says, "Hi Taylor, sharing my carry for today as a knife from Chad Nell Knives, a custom left-handed and Magna Cut with a abalone inlay on the pivot." I'm just reading this, but this is not an Orbit Key Micarta, that's just OD canvas, I'm pretty sure. But basically everything here you see is pretty exclusive. Obviously the one thing that jumps out at me the most, other than the Chad Nell Knives, is the Micro Arcadian. Those are expensive to begin with. This is an exclusive version with that Digi Camo, so 450 plus, and then the steel flame clip. I'm not deep into the world of steel flame, but their stuff is just always expensive. I saw a steel flame necklace at Blade Show that was like a $6,000 necklace. So you see one of these clips and it could literally, I would not be surprised if it was just $100. Also would not be surprised if it was $500 or beyond. So I can't place it. I don't know. Steel flame is always just kind of all over the map, but all really cool stuff here. Anyway, thank you for sharing this. This is just a really cool submission. And just to show you kind of the range of EDC sector stuff, he shared another one, also jumped out at me. It's got a Hinderer in it with another steel flame clip, of course. Zach Woods Pry, Phill Holter pin, like it's all just super, super nice stuff. So really cool stuff. Thank you for sharing. You now have a second entry into the giveaway. So the next submission comes from Dakota, who you guys may remember from the Blade Show pocket dump video I did. I think he was the last person in the video. He was the guy with the Pelican case. He opened it up and his whole collection was in there. This is the same dude, and you saw this knife in that video. What we have here is his anchor themed bougie carry. And first up, we have a Burnley side pop in the top left. He also has a tactile turn Nautilus side click. He has a Clark Handmade Knives gun stock in Damasteel, but it also has a Damasteel inlay and clip. That's a $710 knife. He also has a double X pocket hunter with ZF Timascus puck bead. And we have a Combat Beads pocket pry bar at the top with another bead on it. I'm guessing that's also Combat Beads. The flashlight you see here is an Okluma DC-1, and then below that is a High-Tex poker chip, anchor, mermaid on the opposite side, and then an Atlas Creation wave hank with an anchor embroidery. That whole carry together is about $2,000. Keep in mind, there's no watch here. So watches are usually what send these bougie carries into the stratosphere, but I wanted to make sure to get some really nice stuff without the watches, because if you're just comparing the price of these carries, one watch could just swing the hammer in any direction. So I wanted to do some that were not watch heavy. So this one's, you know, a really good one in terms of that. He says, the last thing I'm looking for to complete this carry is a slip joint made with blue dyed burl wood. Would make a nice trio. I can't help you there. Sorry, guy. Living on the coast of Florida, this whole carry just means a lot to me. The anchor theme throughout with waves of the hank tying everything together means a lot, and it's been a fun and special EDC in the making. Well, it's really cool. It's definitely a lot more colorful than what I typically carry, but man, it does look really cool. That blue dyed burl is something you don't see a whole lot, but very, very cool. Thank you for sharing. You don't have a second entry into the giveaway. And the next one is going to be one of the bougiest we're going to talk about today. This one comes from Connor Winning, who has been, I think, in at least one other bougie carry, maybe two. You can find him over on Instagram at Conzi EDC, or in my Discord server, he's one of the mods as just Conzi. Oh boy, here we go. First up, we have a matte Zerk Hanko. Those three words together should just tell you that this thing is expensive. This is a trimmer pattern with 12 green trits. That flashlight in the top left is about $2,600. And then on it is a custom Pazori sterling silver Hellboy clip. The clip alone, $550. Then we have a Scott Cook non-typical Loxa, I don't know how it's pronounced. I see them everywhere, I don't know how to say it. Inside we have red abalone inlays. This knife, $6,800. He says I have had offers for up to $8,000. Next to that is an AKF Zerk Chaos Scrapper. That is one of the Nucks. That is $3,500 for a Nuck. Then we have a Copperhead Dragon bead on that, the bead. $900. Then we also have another Nuck from AKF. That is a Dark TI Mach 5 SFK. That one is $5,000. And then we have a Copperhead Hellboy bead V1 on that, an $1,850 bead. Now we have a Killian Kreutz hand-forged Damascus Raven pendant. That is the necklace you see in the bottom middle of the photo. We have that at about $600. Then we have an AKF Phill Holter collaboration tie bolt pen with Andy Wah Zerk parts added, 1800-ish, as he says. Then we have a Starlinger custom Cobalt Dragon lighter. The lighter is about $2,600. Surprisingly, the watch is one of the cheapest things in this whole photo. That is an Hamilton Intramatic blue dial chronograph, 12 to 1400-ish, depending on where you buy it. And then the hank underneath everything is an Atlas Creation hank for around $30. Oh boy, let's add this up. Let's just add this up. This is stupid. 2,600 for the flashlight, 550 for the clip, 6,800. So we're going low end here. Plus 12 because we're going low end, and then plus 30. Shit. Oh, this is a $30,000 carry. Holy shit! Wow, Connor. Jesus. Well, that's it, boys. Wrap it up. Let's go home. Holy shit. I knew that your carry was bougie. I did not know. I mean, obviously, you're probably not carrying all of this every day, but Jesus Christ, dude. He says, I'm pretty content with the gear, to be honest. Good thing, huh? The pendant, Hanko clip, and lighter are especially important to me, having been complete custom orders to my specs with various different makers. These makers are amongst the nicest people I've ever worked with, and I highly recommend them to anyone seeking quality goods and amazing craftsmanship. Whilst this carry is quite expensive, I enjoy the spice that it offers and love to collect quality objects from amazing people. The pocket trash community is especially accommodating, and I have made some very close friends through this hobby. Thanks, Taylor, and keep up the great work. Jesus Christ, dude, this is... You're gonna get some heat for this one, I'm sure, but this is all just crazy shit, man. This is awesome. Not stuff that I would personally ever want to spend money on, honestly. No hate from me at all, but it's not stuff I would want to use. I found myself kind of ping-ponging back and forth and bouncing through this EDC world and have settled in a certain price range and stuff that I would have no problem using. For me, it's around the Hinderer range, right? So not quite custom, not quite, you know, big production, smaller batch stuff that's expensive, but not like outrageous. Your knife costs more than 10 times the price of this Hinderer, even with the scale. And most people complain about how expensive these are in my videos. So, I mean, it's just crazy, the range. I don't get offended by it or upset. I love seeing stuff like this and just knowing that some of this stuff exists. And I like seeing people like you really happy and jazzed on getting this stuff and not giving a shit what other people say or think about it. Like, you do you 100% of the time, and I love that more than anything. So thank you for sharing this. Stay awesome, and you have a second entry into the giveaway, although there's really not much I can give you that you know what? You're disqualified. Doing it now. No entry. The next submission comes from Manny B, or Knife Engineering, over on Instagram, and I think he probably submits more than anybody, and it's always just kind of crazy stuff. I mean, following up that last carry, not so much, but still really, really nice stuff here. So the watch you see in this photo is a Breitling Aviator Day Date, and then next to that is a Gareth Bull Slim 3.3-inch chamois spirograph. He also has a Hanka Machine Works Trident flashlight with a steel flame clip that is a Rampant Lion clip, and then a Gucci Slim wallet, a tactile turn bolt action medium in Zerk, and then finally underneath is a Moleskine notebook. Manny says a Gareth Bull Hank in red and black to match the leather slip would be ideal. And then he says, I love my carry. I carry the same items every day, except I rotate the knives out every couple of days, but most are fancy titanium folders, as you'll see. Yeah, that was really the only thing in the photos that changed a whole bunch. You have a lot of customs, this one being one of the nicest chamois I've seen. I don't go really deep into the custom world. They're cool. I like them from time to time, but it's just not stuff that I spend my time looking at. Anyway, thank you for sharing. This is a really cool carry. That Zerk tactile turn, I've got one as well, and I carry that so much. I'm a Zerk whore, I already told you that. So I love seeing all that wear on this one though. Looks really old and beat up. I love it. Love to see it. Maybe we should do a beat up knives next, or like a hard use knives, hard use carry. I don't know. I struggle with that one because when it comes to YouTube and titling it, I can't say used and abused because I immediately get demonetized. I have to be tricky with how we talk about it. It's really dumb. But the next and final submission comes from, oh boy, how do I pronounce this? Guillaume? Ospumer? No idea. You can find him on Instagram here. Anyway, first up in this photo, we have a Victorinox Inox titanium watch. Is it Inox? Inox? I never know. He also has, again, this is actually one of the only custom makers that I would really splurge for a knife for or from. This is a custom David Lespect knife, paper stone handle, and W1 blade. He also has a Grimsmo Saga pin, number 1447, an HDS Systems custom EDC rotary flashlight. Ooh, rotary flashlight. Nice. And then finally, a Topo Zippo. He says, although I really love my watch, I'm looking at upgrading this one. The lumen is not that good, and I end up in a lot of dark places during my job. It has to be a tough watch, but also something that is nice, heirloom-like. I'm considering a Breitling or a Mega, but I'm not sure if those will serve me at least as well as my Victorinox. Although I consider this quite bougie, everything gets used daily. I'm a surveyor, so I'm outdoor and on-site a lot. As I do a lot of measured building surveys, a flashlight is no unnecessary luxury. Most abandoned buildings have no lights, so this helps a lot. The rotary system is great as well. You can put the lumen at exactly the level you want. And last of all, the Zippo. I don't smoke. The lighter gets used to see if windows are double or triple glass when I'm doing home checkups. That and lighting my barbecue is Topo themed because, well, as a surveyor, I like Topos. I'm sure you're cringing at me saying Topo. Big fan of the channel, love to see all the different types of carries. I agree, and this is, the reason I picked this one is because it all looks used. Well-used stuff that actually gets put to use on the job. That is really cool. And because of that, I think that's what we're gonna do in the next one, is used and abused carries, although I'm gonna have to dance around terminology for SEO and not getting demonetized on YouTube, or limited on Instagram again, because that's happened a lot lately. Regardless, thank you for sharing this. This is a really sick carry. Those LeSpecs, again, just absolutely killer customs. There's only maybe a few makers that I would splurge for a custom from. David LeSpec being one of them, Peter Ascenti being another, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm ever gonna dive deep into the customs game. It's expensive. It's very, very expensive, but these are just beautiful knives. Thank you all for sharing. If you were featured in this video at all, you did get a second entry into the giveaway unless your name is Connor. Yeah, continue to submit this time. Used and abused carries. I want to see some stuff that's actually truly beat to shit. I want to see a hinderer that looks like it's like 40 years old. I want to see some really heavy use stuff. edcw.co, that's how you can submit, or just hit the link in the description down below, or just go to the website and click the submit link. That's the best way to submit. So that's it for now. Thank you guys. Everything I talked about in this video, if I can find it, because per usual with these bougie carries, a lot of this stuff is really, really hard to find, like those steel flame clips, this David LeSpec. Some of the stuff is just impossible to find, but I'll link to the best thing I can. But with that said, if you click any of those links in the description, most of those are affiliate links that help support what I'm doing here. You can also support by going to patreon.com/bestdamnedec. With that said, and until next time, carry on.